Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the FeelThere Embraer 190. So not the biggest one, not the 195, but the 190. We are flying the 190 because we're flying for Finnair. So we are at Helsinki, which I guess is obvious seeing the Finnair logo on these other vehicles here. And we're going to be flying to Stockholm Arlanda, so one of my favorite routes, which the Embraer does fly quite often. I also have evidence of it flying in flight sim dispatch, but I mean this is a flight that happens on a weekly basis, so not really that special. Unfortunately, with the wrong the wrong aircraft, so we have the LK N, not the LKM. But not of too big of a difference. The reason why I wanted to choose this one was because of the nice One World livery. And I think we actually have the same aircraft here. Because I went and put 100% on the traffic AIG traffic controller. So we should have as much traffic as possible. And here you can see the efficiency of Lufthansa and Sun Class. They are sharing their gate. This is the static aircraft. I don't know why, but I always seem to forget to remove the statics. But the problem is, I think if you remove these, you'll lose the ones around the maintenance hangar. So it's a bit of a hit and miss. And I really like those around the maintenance hangar. It makes it look a bit more busy at the airport. Our flight will be short. I've never actually flown the Embraer myself from Helsinki. I've been on an Embraer flight with the CityJet, the KLM CityJets, an E190 if I'm not mistaken, to Cardiff. And then from back from Cardiff, but that was back in 2019 actually, pre-corona. So I don't think I've ever had the luxury, or maybe not the luxury, but the opportunity to fly on the E190. But as you can see, it's a pretty beautiful aircraft. I'll give FeelThere some cred. They have done an exceptional work with the outside model. It's really nice. You can see that they have taken a bit of shortcuts though on some aspects. But apart from those shortcuts, it does look very nice. When you zoom in, it doesn't immediately start looking awful. So I'll give them a big plus in the book. This aircraft really looks nice. So it's very nice to kind of do a walk around with the chase plane function, just to see how it looks. And it's a good livery as well, so credit to the livery maker. Not sure who did it, but I guess there's only one who's made this livery, so that person will know who it is. But yeah, a very nice nice looking aircraft, and everything is looking good on the outside as well. Let's see how good the wheel basis is. But yeah, you can see there's some details here, which is nice to see. Not perfect, of course, some flickering, but generally pretty good. I really like the feel there. If it wasn't because they sometimes have some issues, I would be flying them a lot more. And they have I haven't really seen a reason yet to upgrade to, or upgrade, but to buy the FPS or X-Crafts one in X-Plane. I'll probably at some point, specifically if they do the E2 jets, so the upgraded version. But until that moment, I'm in no rush. The E-jets, they give enough nice flying, or enough good flying for me. And let me just fix the camera views, because I realized I had not saved the different transitions. So most of them looked pretty good, not gonna lie. But these ones are a bit badly placed. Maybe something like this will be nicer. The problem is my camera is eating into the aircraft from another viewpoint. Another alternative would be to have this one actually. So let's do that. Now we have some options with some nice viewpoints and none that are cutting into the plane, which is nice. We leave the outside viewpoint somewhere here, but this is pretty cool. So they have some of the interior, right? It's not perfect, but it does at least, you know, Itala, and then they have Arctic Bar. I mean, this is a small tidbit, but still, I think you can see the Norwegian, SAS, etc. So yeah, pretty cool. And the flooring, etc. Yeah, not bad. Don't think there's that wall there, but they've done a lot of not restructuring, but construction work around the airport on the interior. So there's been quite a bit of changes lately. Okay, let's get started. Most of the things are already set up as they should be in terms of fuel, etc. I was quick with that. We can do the batteries. The question is, what about the exterior, the GPU, right? Do we have that? Doesn't feel like we have that. So let me see if I put parking brakes, maybe it will connect automatically, right? I think there was some sort of logic. Something along those lines. But nothing as of yet. Let me see if I tweak here a bit. It's saying no jetway can operate at this position. That's odd. Is the GSX profile off on this aircraft? Let me have a look. Don't think it should be. Oh yeah, the door thing. Let me see if I can close it. And then let me open it. Okay, now it should work. Okay, good. We have IRS aligning, etc. So yeah, you can see there's some like these small bugs that are a tad bit annoying. Nothing super detrimental, but enough to be a bit annoying. So that might be the reason why I'll get the FPS one or the X-Crafts one. But let's see. No mega rush. We can arm that one. No smoking and sterile cockpit. Yeah, no EFB either. That's also a bit of a downside. We can load the flight plan in Pilot 280C first, just to make sure we have it correctly. Seems like we don't have a SID. No, we do have a SID, but it hasn't loaded for some reason. So I'm gonna load it for us. And then we have 0, 1 left for the ILS. We will just do a direct vectoring. We can validate and file. We have the right altitude, we're going up quite high, 32,000 feet. Let's see if we can make that actually. We can change this one, we'll just use the Boeing one, because why not? Oh. Let's see, I think it bugged out a bit there. Let's add Finnair. And we're not heavy, right? Good, good, good. Perfect. What else? Connect to the sim. That should be about it. We can also start our boarding process. So we have PAX X loading. We know where we're flying.
04 right, 04 left.
Let's switch the radio.
Anti-airport information, Victor.
One of the reasons I'm also flying a lot of
10 knots. Visibility 6 miles.
That's
Sky
odd.
condition VFR. Temperature 60 at 10 knots. Visibility 6 miles.
Are we on the wrong? No, it seems to be working. One of the reasons why I'm not flying X-plane is because of the beta with all the weird shadows, etc. So I'm not really in a rush to fly that too much. I'm waiting for the next update. I think everyone has Wi-Fi nowadays. Let's put that in. Even if this is supposed to be a 2010 flight. Boarding music. We have Finnair. And safety. We have the second Finnair, which I think is better. We can put that on, so we have it. These are not connected, which is nice. Let me see, fuel reserve, performance in it. I think you want to start with nav identification. Yeah, that's fine. Last position, flight plan, destination, and let me just think about this. So the way to do this, yeah, here. So take off 04 right. Okay, that didn't work. Do we have to do here departure? 04 right. A div, can insert that. After a divo, let's get the rest. So Y365 to Pogok. And then direct to Runga. Then 1872. So we're doing the airways now to Zealand. And then it's gonna be the landing one, or arrival, I guess. So runway 01 left. We're doing the ILS. We're doing the Zila 3J. We can insert. We should have a discontinuity though. Which we don't seem to have, but okay. Shouldn't be too big of a problem. Performance in it. And actually let me open, because I think with this one you always want to have the the instructions. So the manual, and then the speed. Do you need the speed card? No, because the speed card is included in the manual. That's why I want to have the manual open.
Ryanair 21 uniform ground house in for taxi. Ready for taxi now, Ryanair 21 uniform. Proceed runway 35 taxiway Foxtrot. Roll chart 17 Ryanair 21 uniform.
Okay, and fuel reserve.
Yankee,
Is it the full amount maybe?
Your oceanic clearance come through. If you're happy with that, push start approved, face north 17, QNH 1021. We're happy with
You
that.
know our cruising altitude. We know the dew point. -2. Cruising winds. 021. 045 at altitude. Fuel, we have the gauge, 0 fuel weight. It's gonna be a bit lower than, or not that low actually. It's gonna be quite high.
Our oceanic is being rejected because we've had an aircraft switch. I think Echo Juliet is still in the system. Can we get the HF frequencies to contact Shannon?
So there we go.
I'm afraid you have to have the oceanic clearance before
check altitude constraints. We'll be fine. Takeoff data. We can listen to the 80s for that.
VFR, temperature 11, dew point 4. Current altimeter is 2982. Arriving and departing runway 04 right, 04 left.
29er.
Vanta Airport automated weather observation 520 local winds are 360 at 10 knots. Visibility 6 miles. Sky condition VFR. Temperature 11, dew point 4. Current altimeter is 2982. Arriving and departing runway 04 right, 04 left. Vanta Airport automated
We should
weather
actually
observation
change.
520 local winds are 3.
Since we're flying in Europe. Let's re-listen.
1010. Arriving and departing runway 04 right, 04 left. Vanta Airport automated weather observation 520 local winds are 360 at 10 knots. Visibility 6 miles. Sky condition VFR. Temperature 11, dew point 4. Current QNH is 1010. Arriving and departing runway 04 right, 04 left.
0.
Vanta Airport automated
Okay, it's
weather
automatically
observation
updated.
520 local winds are 360 at 10 knots.
What's the outside
Visibility
air
6
temp?
miles. Sky condition VFR. Temperature 11, dew point 4. Current QNH is 1010.
So a bit higher. Oh yeah, we need to do the V1 speeds here. Let's have a look. With the manual. So takeoff speeds for the 95. Sorry, for the 195. We have them here. We're doing takeoff mode 1. So I don't think we get any more input in terms of takeoff modes from the flight plan itself. Well, we have takeoff 1. Selected temp 45. Question is, of course, where do you select that temp, and can you even do that? Possibly. But could be that it's not implemented. So let's not focus on that. Let's do the speeds. They're saying 38, 3840. And we are saying that it's gonna be 351444, which sounds reasonable, I would say. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the GSX boarding. We'll do a very short boarding.
tablets, and any other larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the gate. Thank you, and welcome aboard.
Maybe we can't do the GSX. Okay, it seemed to have worked. A lot of ATRs. Didn't expect that. An okay model, not the best. Yeah, basically mainly ATRs, very interesting. And then a bit of Embraers, Ryanair, Sun Class, Norwegian. Seems like it's very few aircrafts though. I don't know why it's being weird, the GSX one. I was hoping we were gonna see the boarding in a nice way, but... Or maybe it wants me to open the second door. Sometimes that's the case. Yeah, now it worked. Very oddly. I guess we could have parked at one of these other stands and used the stairs, but oh well. Not the end of the world. VFS, we find it further to the right, 196 from our speed card. Climb, cruise, descent. So let's see. Yeah, we can do landing at a later stage. Okay, very nice. What's this? No present position. We have a loaded position, right?
Channel 7345, after the crossing via Delta and Alpha. After 5 Delta, Alpha, Channel 345.
Yeah, that can be a normal. Don't want to keep it on, we want to keep it on map, right? We can have vertical proficiency. Waypoint identifiers are good. Progress is a good thing to have as well. I like that you can zoom in. You can keep this on map as well.
Channel 642, Charlie Bravo. Charlie Bravo 642, back.
We can put similar data. I think we're basically getting ready. Or we have this display if you want to look at anything specific. But I think generally it's looking quite good. We can start the APU, I would say. Let's do the checklist though.
Cockpit safety inspection. Maintenance status. Checked.
I think this one should go on.
Cockpit emergency equipment. Checked. Electric panel.
Yeah, fire extinguisher or the
Checked.
fire warning works.
Fuel panel. Checked.
Oh yeah, the
Windshield
lights
wiper.
are not working.
Checked.
We can put the beacon
Hydraulic
on.
panel.
Okay, GSX boarding is
Checked.
completed.
Air conditioning pneumatics panel.
Okay, let's
Checked.
close all of those.
Passenger oxygen panel.
Let me see, we're almost done. I'm just gonna expedite the
We're ready
boarding.
up here if we can finish the boarding process a bit sooner.
Landing gear lever.
We'll see what we can do. No
Checked.
promises.
Check, check, checked.
Start stop selectors.
Pretty good looking on the inside as well. Stop. Can we open the windows?
Speed brake lever.
Oh yeah, you can.
Closed. Ram air turbine manual
That
deploy.
doesn't really make a difference.
Stowed.
Stowed, stowed.
Flap the lever. Verify position.
Then 345. In the left turn, you will see a 777, but no conflict. Roger, 10 Fox 345.
Okay, let me see. Yeah,
Safety inspection checklist completed.
completed. Let's do power up.
Power
Just to make
up
sure we don't miss
checklist.
anything. That's the good part about this checklist.
Battery 1
Dat gaat in Vriesing Gile Tower, Mama 905.
on.
Mama 905.
Battery 2
On.
auto.
Oh, sorry, auto.
Battery voltage checked.
We are ready to go when you are.
GPU button on. Fire extinguisher panel checked. Emergency lights.
Let's get our IFR clearance while we wait, so we get some traction. Finnair 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance.
Finnair 4003 is cleared to Echo Sierra Sierra Alpha fly
Oh
the
wait, I'm
added
getting
5
a
Charlie departure.
phone call. I'm
Then
gonna
as
pause
filed.
quickly. There we go. Sorry about that. Now let's see where we are at the power up, and there was something that's getting us stuck. Checklist is power up, APU. Yeah, we're at the APU. That's the problem. So we'll start the
Start.
APU.
Nav lights
They are on.
on. Logo lights on. Hydraulic panel
Yeah, I think it's
Checked.
only the electric pump A that we need to tweak
electronic
or move.
CBs checked. DV DR
In terms of the weather, actually, let me have a look if there's anything that we need to be careful about. No, just some ice warnings, but that's around Estonia.
power up checklist completed.
Completed. Let's do
Pre-flight
pre-flight.
checklist.
How do we know if the
Pressurization
GP or the
panel.
APU is?
Set. Oxygen masks checked. Flight instruments
Okay, without that we don't have any flight instruments. Oh, right. Oh wait, flight instruments. Which one is that? That's the. Let me see. We are at the pre-flight. Altimeter set to local. Yeah, exactly, that's the problem. And then this one as well, right? Actually, the question is which 29 or 85. Oh, we have set the to the local, but maybe it's changed. Oh, 1018. Okay, it's changed rapidly actually. Maybe I put it wrong to start off with.
set. Cross-checked.
309.
Thrust levers
Idle.
idle.
Yeah. Parking brake on.
Parking brake on.
Can we check here?
Flight checklist completed.
APU. Is it coming out to the system? Pre-flight checklist completed. Okay, before start.
Before start checklist.
Talking about that, we
Trim.
should probably
Set.
set the
MC
TARA.
checked. Set.
Here,
Fuel
this
quantity
Ponder 3026.
checked. Taxi takeoff briefing completed. Passenger signs.
Passenger
On.
signs on.
Doors and windows.
Locked. Let's ask for the pushback.
Closed.
Oh, did I forget
Flight
one
deck
open?
door.
Yeah, maybe that was the
Locked.
case. Flight deck door locked.
Good morning,
Red
ladies and
beacon.
gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight 4003.
Finnair
On.
4003, ready for pushback.
Hydraulic pump
Please note the cabin
3A.
doors
Finnair
now closed. We ask that you
4003
make sure
pushback
that all
On.
devices are in
On.
airplane mode and your large
Pushback
devices
approved,
are
Finnair
shut down. If you
4003.
have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and
Normal.
tight across your lap. The safe table to seatback must be in the full upright
Before
posture
start
for departure.
checklist
Cabin crew
complete.
secure doors
Complete.
for departure.
There we go. So now we're getting ready to get the pushback. Oh, the Ryanair took off. Once we get rid of the GPU, it should all be fine. We just have to release the parking brake, which we don't want to do just yet. Okay, we have a Norwegian and a Finnair on its move, or on their move. Still have this One World aircraft here, aka the same as ours. It's a bit weird to have the GPU connected at the same time. That's why I don't like when you have like the parking brake being the determining factor of the GPU being connected. It's a bit weird. In terms of pitch, let's do 3.4. Oh, okay, it's connecting. That's good. Let's move this down a bit. We're taking off from 4 right, so we want to go with the nose to the right.
Release parking brakes.
We'll release parking brakes.
All engines clear. Start at wheel.
All. Oh, okay, we can start at will. Okay, so let's see. So we have them down here. And let's see, do we need to close the bleed? Oh. No, we do not. It is starting. You can see the engine moving there.
Gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an important
Pretty okay sound pack. It's a bit weird though how it kind of... The sound kind of feels like it resets when you start each engine. But that's about it. We can put on the yaw dampener. We can hear the Finnair safety briefing from the back. Yeah, the engine is on. See the beacon flashing here below, that's pretty nice. Okay, that's the right one. Let's do the left one. You can hear it kind of resets the sound.
Parking brakes.
That's a bit annoying. And I have a sound pack, right?
Confirmation for good engine start. Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect. Unlocking gear.
And let's make sure we have the right... So if we change this one, can we then... Yeah, okay, LNAV, etc. FMS. Okay, now we should have both engines started. Yeah, not the best look, but decent enough.
Bypass pin removed.
Okay, bypass pin removed.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Left and right is clear. Flight control test. Talking about that, do you see it here on system maybe? Yeah. Looks like the elevators are working. Same with the ailerons. Rudders is working. We set parking brake. I've forgotten to do that. Please release parking brake immediately. weird. Okay, we want to do the taxi lights. So nose and sides. You can see they are lighting up quite a bit. Finnair 4003, ready to taxi. We can get the taxi clearance. I hope at least.
Finnair 4003 runway 04
Yeah.
right. Taxi via Alpha Charlie, Alpha Golf, Alpha Victor, Victor Juliet, Zulu, Zulu
After
Tango.
start
Hold
checklist.
short runway
Actually, one thing I
04
didn't
right.
check, what flaps did we go for?
Runway 04 right, taxi via Alpha Charlie, Alpha Golf, Alpha Victor, Victor Juliet, Zulu, Zulu Tango, hold short runway 04 right, Finnair 4003.
Flap 1, that was the...
1. Flight controls. Checked.
Let's go to FBL, because we have all the
ECAS.
speed set here, as you can see.
Checked. Dispatch clearance.
We don't need
Checked.
the APU anymore.
After
But
engine
check
start
test
checklist
doesn't work, the
completed.
annunciator test. Okay, after start completed, release parking brake. We should get moving on idle powers, that's nice. Let's add a bit of thrust though. And let's have a look at how our taxi route will be. Should be relatively straightforward, hopefully. Auto brake, rejected takeoff. Flight directors though, are those on? Yeah, okay, they were on. So LNAV, what did we get in terms of 060 was the altitude we got. Okay, and we are taxiing out of here. Maybe turn a bit more. The taxis pretty well though, I'll give it that much. Let's switch to this view, just so we can see the nicer, the A350.
Ready to go.
Is that another A350? Looks like it. Do we have any A330s here? Not a single one. Okay. Okay. Well, a lot of A350s, so I guess we are at the right time here to see them all. No present position. Don't think that's an issue, but let's see if I'm wrong. We want to turn a bit to the right. What do we need to do? What am I missing? There's always something I forget. But maybe not this time. Hopefully not. And we want to go right here. Then left. So yeah, it's a pretty nice cockpit as well, even though it's not my favorite, the Embraer one. It just looks a bit... well, maybe dull is the wrong word, but yeah, not that interesting. It's a bit clean, maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Let's see, now we are supposed to turn out here. So let's turn to the right. I'm talking about, I actually got a bit interested in seeing, do we have we have the ERJ 170 with Atlantic Sun, but that one doesn't even have the deliveries for the Embraer. Because this aircraft I would rather fly, I think, than the ERJ. If I have to choose between this one and the ERJ, I'll take this one. most days of the week. Mainly because it's better implementation, but also because it's, I don't know, I kinda like it. I prefer the ones with the engines under the wings rather than the one with the tail engines. Okay, taxiing is continuing. I do hope Embraer though comes out with a bigger narrow body. That would be very interesting to see. And who do we have coming in there for a landing? Ryanair, it looks like. Maybe it just took a spin around the airport and now it's coming back. Would be a bit funny. Do we have the... I think we have the TCAS on, but the problem I'm wondering, do we have it here? No, we did not. So I'm gonna do the same on both. What about nav aids? No, we don't need to show that. Airports. Missed approach. No, it seems a bit unnecessary. I think this gives enough information, so that's good. We already burnt about around 200 pounds of fuel. For better or worse. We'll be turning right here soon. Or, I guess. Let me go see, are we going too far or... No, we can go down all the way, right? Not that we need all of the runway, but okay, I guess we'll use all of it. In terms of... let's put on VNAV as well. I think we're on VNAV now, right?
Finnair 4003 contact Helsinki Tower on 118.6.
VNAV disconnect.
Tower on 118.6 Finnair 4003.
Let me just have a look. We have the flight plan. Okay, so that's the disconnect one. Maybe you can't have it on until we're up in the air. That could be the case. Finnair 4003, ready for takeoff.
Finnair
come on.
4003 pushback approved.
Pushback approved Finnair 4003.
Finnair 4003, ready for takeoff. Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah, okay, it's working.
Finnair 4003 winds are 350 at 11 knots. Runway 04 right cleared for takeoff.
Oh yeah, we don't have an altitude
3026.
set. That could have been one of the issues.
Runway 04 right cleared for takeoff squawking 3026 Finnair 4003.
So let's get an altitude. Now we should have the VNAV, right? And let's just see. Is it FPA or is it the flight check? I don't remember. Flight path angle. I think that's the one we want to have, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's do the before takeoff.
Before takeoff checklist.
Check that our left is
Takeoff
clear.
configuration.
Right is clear, another ATR on its way.
Takeoff okay.
Take off
Checked.
okay.
Brake temperatures. Checked.
Green. I don't know.
ECAS.
Checked, I guess.
Checked.
Checked.
Strobe lights.
Strobe lights. That's a good one. Same with landing
On.
lights.
Landing lights.
Delta 1123 behind departing CSA.
On.
On.
Transponder. TARA.
TARA.
Before takeoff checklist completed.
Completed. Okay, 89. That's what we're aiming for. I think we have the AT one, but I think you have to set this yourself if I'm not mistaken. Okay, set, let's go. There we go. Now we have it set correctly, ready for takeoff. Hey, even the Ryanair was able to make it out before, that was good. Should have checked left and right, but it seemed clear enough. Okay, 100 knots, checked. V1, rotate. Oh, that was fast. Totally missed that. And let me put the speed, we have it on the FMS speed now. Okay, we're gonna... Did we get any callouts? Didn't feel like it. Maybe it was just very low. Okay, gear is up. Looking good thus far. Flap 0. Let's trim a bit. Pretty good sound. Oh yeah, that's... We gotta
Finnair
not move the camera too much.
Maintain flight level 120, contact Helsinki approach on 124.32.
20.
Climb and maintain flight level 120, approach on 124.32 Finnair 4003. Approach Finnair 4003, climbing to flight level 120.
Finnair 4003, good morning.
Not the ESSA flight director. I wonder if you can change that. Probably. We don't need to look at active sky. Yeah, looking pretty good. Flies pretty nicely as well. I really like the MK Studios Helsinki. Looks really good.
50 knots or less.
Wilco Finnair 4003.
Finnair
we're turning.
4003, climb and maintain flight level 180, contact Tampere Center on 121.3.
180.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 center on 121.3 Finnair 4003.
Okay, we've been getting clearances pretty quickly here.
Center Finnair 4003, climbing to flight level 180.
Finnair 4003, good morning.
Okay, let's push down the nose a bit, we can trim. I think this one doesn't have any fly-by-wire if I'm not mistaken, right? Or does it have some? That's the million-dollar question actually. Maybe it's the newer version that has it. The E2. Okay, they want us to turn a bit. I really prefer the X for flying in terms of the flight director. The dot is not my favorite.
You can now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. As a reminder, please keep your seatbelt fastened while you are seated and do not
Okay, and it wants us to descend a bit. We did forget to close our taxi. Same with landing. You can also do the seatbelt signs. Just forgot that I removed the assistance thingy. So let's add that back in. Okay, we're picking up speed. We're not turning enough. But yeah, looking pretty good. Let's add the autopilot. We're climbing VNAV style now. We're probably gonna get clearances up to 32,000, so I'm gonna put it in already. Let's see though. You can never know for certain with pilot TDC, but it should be fine. It's not that much left, 233 kilometers until we land. I don't know why, because they have the outside, but then they have this dark thing. I wonder if you can get rid of that somehow, maybe by... I need to have a look at the texture files.
Finnair 4003 climb and maintain flight level 240.
240.
Climb and maintain flight level 240 Finnair 4003.
Okay, let's go to standard. Yeah, about that I would say. 2992. We are seemingly at least following the flight plan. Is this for the display or?
Transition altitude.
Ah, yes. Transition altitude, yeah, we have set that correctly. It's looking good. We're not gonna be in any problematic clouds or similar, so we can let it be. We'll climb. I'm gonna give you a nice view. As we climb. Let's see what altitude. Yeah, okay, it's a bit higher there. So this would be the right. I'm gonna change the view for this one, so we have the right perspective. And yeah, I'll take a bit of a break and I'll be right back once we start getting closer to our top of descent.
Finnair 4003 climb and maintain flight level 320.
Climb and maintain flight level 320 Finnair 4003.
ESSA captain is back. Let's see. Looking pretty good. We are at our at the right altitude? Yeah, looks like we are. Let me just jump into the cockpit. Top of descent is just after Pogok, which is very much aligned with what we're getting from Pilot to ADC. We haven't gotten any descent clearances yet. So what we do want to open up next is the charts for the lovely airport of Arlanda. And we'll be checking, let's see if we can find 01 left. How old is this one? July 1st, 05.
Finnair 4003,
Great.
expect the Sheila 3 Juliet arrival with the Shillon transition for the ILS approach to runway
Sheila.
01 left at Arlanda Airport.
Yeah.
Expect the XILA 3 Juliet arrival with the Zillan transition for the ILS approach to runway 01 left Finnair 4003.
Yeah, that's the right one. At least to my knowledge. In terms VNav disconnect, V altitude. Okay, hopefully that's not a problem. Let's have a look. We can choose between auto, toga, trust rating selection. Okay, this is pretty good. So it's on auto now, which makes sense. Is this the TRS one? Yeah, nice. Okay, very cool. Sucks that the button though aren't really pressed when you're... Or this one works. Yeah, some of these buttons are actually pressed. That's strange. Maybe it's just the P3D version 5 issue. What I wanted to check was radio. So nav 1 is supposed to be... Let me see if we can change it. So 1099, 1099. That's correct. Course should be 006. We'll just change it on my hardware. We won't see it here. And here we can see the RMP 2.0. Okay, that's cool as well. Any descent clearance yet? Still nothing. So that makes me a bit worried. Guess that will be a bit high. Very nice weather though. We're really starting to see that summer is coming here in Northern Europe with this more varied weather, which we really like. I must say also in P3D it helps that you only have field there, because in X-Plane I don't know which one to get between X-Craft or FPS. I need to find like a new discussion on it. Still no descent clearance. Because if one could pinpoint which one I should buy, then it would be much easier.
Finnair 4003 descend to cross Shillon at flight level 135, then descend via the Sheila 3 Juliet arrival with the Shillon transition to cross SA 801 at or above 3,500 feet. QNH is 1015 at Arlanda Airport.
1,500.
We'll cross Zillan at flight level 135, then descend via the XILA 3 Juliet arrival with the Zillan transition to cross SA 801 at or above 3,500 feet. QNH is 1015 Finnair 4003.
There we go, now we're descending. Yep, or are we? Did I just get excited too early? Well, let's see once we get to the top of descent, if we start descending after that. Oh, here's an interesting topic. Someone wondering if they should move from X-Plane 11 to X-Plane 12. that much positivity. Okay, we haven't started descending, which I find a bit odd. V path, that was the one. Okay, so that was the problem. So let's see. Hopefully we didn't lose too much. You can see that we're above our path, and we're really speeding up now as well. That's interesting. Were we flying very slowly previously? Or maybe we were slowing down. Yeah, I really want to know which one is it X-Crafts or FPS? Which one is it? Why can't people just have a good up-to-date one, right? Because both have been updated fairly recently. One thing we need to set is the decision, the minimums. So that can go to Barrow and 300. So now we have that set. We can zoom out a bit on this one, nothing crazy, but this should be good enough. We can see we should be able to catch up with the vertical profile eventually, at least. Okay, let's see, we're descending. I'm gonna let it descend for a while. I'll be right back. Just gonna check a quick thing. God damn, I'm back. Managed to drop the little thing, what's it called, on the Boeing Trustmaster, the paper clip holder or whatever you wanna call it. Okay, we are descending towards Sweden with our lovely Finnair Oneworld, member of Oneworld livery. How is, by the way, the... Probably check this every time I fly, but... Oh yeah, they still have this weird... nobody's ever gonna be able to explain to me why they do it this way. Why didn't they just design some... Yeah, okay, that's the oddest thing I've seen. How does this one look? Looks pretty good. Now what do we have there? Just a cargo vessel. Do we have any of the ferries? Because I've taken the ferry a lot of time between Finland and Sweden, but potentially, you know, the routing, we won't be able to see them right now. Okay, we're still in New Zealand. We are on track to maintain the vertical profile, so that's very good to see. So that means we don't have very long left, which is always good. I'm gonna start preparing. Oh, sorry about that. Start preparing my thumbnail, since we have some time to kill off, or I have some time to kill off. I do wonder though, I think the Embraer, this one is actually still in production. Let me just check, 190, so that's going to be the E-Jet family. And it's still being produced because, and there's still orders. Because I think the E175 is getting orders from the US due to the scoping class, so that's pretty cool. The question is though, what about the E2 family? What about those orders? So there's 156 in order with a backlog of 196. Basically the E175 E2 variant hasn't even started being sold yet. They should have gone ahead with the Mitsubishi Space Jet, because that one I think would have just fallen below the scope class, if I'm not mistaken. Could be that I am mistaken though. Okay, let's see, airlines, we wanna do Finnair. I'm gonna copy the logo. And we're flying P3D, so we wanna get that logo on the thumbnail. I like how I have all these really high end add-ons, FS Labs, PMDG, but I rarely fly them in comparison to some of these worse add-ons. That must be the, yeah, not even gonna say anything. Not the best look. Let me see, for some reason can't find the... Oh, it's been a while since I've been flying the FeelThere Embraers. So the E170 was I think the last one, so this will be the E190. Okay, and we are at 10,000 feet. That means landing lights. We're also going to do seatbelt signs. Let's have a look if we need to. We can ask them to put it on. wonder if the Embraers ever flew with the old Finnair livery. AK, when did they start to be used by Finnair? That's the importante question.
We have begun our final descent to Stockholm. Flight attendants will be passengers and cabin flight extract one final time. Should three people as showed are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat furniture. Please
Okay,
complete
let's
all
see.
Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
Okay, we're descending further. And I'm soon done with my there we go. I'm just gonna take use the nice sniping tool. Save my picture. And then we can focus on the fun part, the flying. So we're still descending. 5,000 is the transition altitude, so the question is when it is time to do that. To press the or to set the altimeter. Or it's not a question actually, 5,000, right? But it's when is it gonna happen? That's the question.
Stockholm approach on 126.65.
And I think we have a
Approach on 126.65 Finnair 4003.
it's not gonna be far now. We're very close. And I didn't find any forum thread about the FPS versus the X-crafts. Let's have a look at the weather at our destination. We're gonna bring up the
Approach Finnair 4003 descending via the XILA-3J arrival with the Zilland transition to 3,500 feet.
So let's get that set so we have
Finnair
it.
4003, good morning. Continue descent via the Sheila 3 Juliet arrival with the Sheila transition.
Continue descent via the XILA-3 Juliet arrival with the Zilland transition to Finnair 4003.
That was a mistake, I think. Oh yeah, it bugged out. Awkward. I managed to press the flaps down button when I was gonna scroll myself downwards, aka change my viewpoint. Okay, looking good though. Are we seeing any other traffic? No. That's also a bit of a risk when you go higher on the traffic. The risk is that you of course get a bigger amount of planes coming into land, right? Here actually Sweden looks pretty good, the FS scenery. I know some places have a bit of a lack of autogen, unfortunately. Okay, we forgot to do after takeoff.
After takeoff checklist.
Let me see what those are.
Flaps. 0. Landing gear.
Up.
Up. Pressurization. Checked. After takeoff checklist completed.
Okay, descent.
Descent checklist.
And then approach.
Auto brakes.
Okay, we got continue approach, so we can go down to 2.5. We can go auto brake medium. Oh, that's a very good point.
Landing data.
Totally forgot to do landing data one.
Finnair 4003 expedites speed reduction to 250 knots.
Wilco Finnair 4003.
Finnair 4003
AKV, ref,
you are
etc.
11 nautical miles southeast of the airport.
VREFs
QNH
and
is
maps.
1015
Let's find
after
this
SA 802
data.
descend.
Let's
And
find
maintain
this data.
2,500
Landing
feet cleared
speed.
direct SA 801, then cleared for the ILS approach to runway 01 left at Arlanda Airport.
We're landing with flap
QNH is 1015 after SA 802
5.
descend and maintain 2,500 feet cleared direct SA 801 and cleared for the ILS approach to
Okay, we
runway
don't wanna.
01
We
left
can't
at
even go
Arlanda
to
Airport.
flap.
Finnair 4003.
Can't go to flap 1 yet.
Finnair 4003 QNH is 1015 at Arlanda Airport. Contact Arlanda Tower on 118.5.
QNH is 1015 tower on 118.5 Finnair 4003.
Or sorry, this
Finnair
should be.
4003 inbound for ILS approach runway 01
Let's
left.
add a bit extra. What's the back?
Finnair 4003, good morning. Continue
do
ILS
flap
to
4.
runway 01 left call when established on final.
Continue ILS runway 01
3.
left will call when established on final Finnair 4003.
Call
Altimeters.
established on final. Altimeters are set.
Set.
Are they a tad bit high?
Cross-checked.
Let's have
Descent
a look.
checklist completed.
Yeah, 1019 it was actually, yeah. Approach.
Approach checklist.
I think everything there is fine.
Passenger signs.
You can go flaps.
Landing lights.
We have the course
On.
correctly set in.
Altimeters.
We can't do that just yet. There we go.
Set.
Approach 1 only.
Cross-checked.
Okay. I think we have it correctly set.
Checklist complete.
We wanna shut the. We don't want to have any. We wanna take manual control, which we have now. We're gonna go to flap 5.
High speed. High speed.
Set throttle down. We can drop the gears. Before landing. Taxi lights. Yeah, we're a bit. I should have
Landing gear lever.
focused more on the flying part.
Down. Flaps.
We're going flaps 4. So we can go flaps 5. Flaps 5 set.
Before landing checklist complete.
Okay, we can tweak the speed one. Okay, before landing, good. We have to disconnect. Yeah, we want the yaw dampener on though. Okay, we're now doing this manually, the old school way, the real way, the true flying way. We want to add a bit of thrust. It's going to be hard to maintain our vertical descent otherwise. We're a bit low already. I'm trying to trim this out a bit. We'll add a bit more thrust. So we're soon at our VAP and
Finnair
VREFs.
4003 winds are 354 at 14 knots. Cleared to land runway 01 left.
Clear to land runway 01 left Finnair 4003.
Okay, we got landing clearance. I forgot to ask for. Let them know I'm established on final. Okay, adding a bit more thrust and a bit more. Now we can descend a bit. Okay, looking pretty good. We have a bit of wind from the right, so we should probably crab a bit to the left, just a tiny bit. Approaching minimums. throttle down a bit, continue. Ten. Okay, there we go. Whew. We crabbed, hopefully sufficiently. Look at those thrust reversers. Let's disarm the auto brakes. Let's start the APU. And we want to turn off here as well. We don't want to go completely off. And since we're going to be parking somewhat close to the Finnair, they have this specific Terminal 4, I think it's called. Or is it Terminal 5?
Finnair 4003, contact Arlanda ground on 121.7.
I always forget which one it is. Terminal 2 maybe, is that the name of it? I always forget. Let me check Finnair Terminal Arlanda. Terminal 2. Yeah. Terminal 2 is the one. Terminal 5, that's the big one, right? Finnair 4003, ready to taxi.
Finnair 4003 taxi to stand 19er.
Taxi to stand 19er Finnair 4003.
We can shut some of the lights. And well, let's see. Yeah, look at this amount of all of planes. A lot of SAS ones. And there's even a Finnair one. I'm guessing that's the static Embraer. Oh, look at that, a BAE Jetstream, right? 32, yeah, cool. Very nice, very nice. Oh, we were basically following the wrong yellow line. I'm being a bit quick here because I want to shut down. Have to be a bit quick. There we have a FedEx, DHL, I think at least. Or is that Atlantic? Oh, that's DHL. There we have UPS, Compass. Okay, so some variety. And here we have Terminal 2. Not the prettiest terminal, but having flown for it a couple of times, it grows on you. And we can just, doesn't really matter, let's pick the first one. That's why not. This is gate 6-2 if I'm not mistaken. And H, I think. No, not H. What's the numbering for these ones? F maybe? Not F either. 6-2, not G. J maybe, not J. K, not K. Gate. It's a normal gate, right? There we go. No follow me needed. We can use aviator. Okay. Here we go. And there we have one of the City Jets, KLM, represent. Okay, we're maintaining pretty nicely. I just want to check if we can get the jetway to connect. Just want to check that there isn't a bigger issue with the plane itself. Oh yeah, we need to stop the engines, of course. Forgot to cover that. Any luck? Let me see, what do I need to do? Yeah, we'll do that, that will work. always wanted to try if the fire extinguisher do actually work, and they do work, so that's cool. Don't do that, people, but yeah. At least we know now for the future reference. It doesn't have any failures, this one though, so something to keep in mind. Okay, the engines are shut. What we wanna do is, let's see if we can get the interaction through that. Nope, we have to probably have to open a door, and then we can operate the jetway. So that's also one thing. My guess is though that maybe it's related to the bleeds or something. Yeah, I need to check why it didn't want to shut down. Could have been that oh, it was because they weren't at idle. That's why. So it was my fault. I was being a bit lazy there with shutting down. 100% that was the issue. Okay, let's see if we do operate jetway. No, jetway can operate at this position. That's odd. Aircraft door and jetway misaligned. Okay, maybe it's a bit misaligned if I would have moved it a bit forward. But okay, we know that now. End flight 101, pretty good. Okay, landing. Can remove the parking brakes so we can not, or we don't have to see that the GPU on our replay.
You can stay on this and proceed by connecting.
I think the approach was pretty good. Maybe we came in a bit high on the landing. I'm interested in seeing the tail strike or not. We're coming in with quite a steep angle. Okay, pretty good actually. Did we crab too much though? I just want to see that quickly. 390. Let's see from this viewpoint. So we're placing it to the right. Now we're quite good. We should just get down. We shouldn't crab at all. We get down. Yeah, we crabbed too much. Well, we kind of fixed it just at the end. Okay, cool. We can see the spoilers at least, so that's nice. But none of the thrust reversers on the replay. But okay, cool enough. And I think that was it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Wasn't what or it was pretty long, right? Let's see how long it was. 1 hour and 40 minutes, give or take. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, or any suggestions on what to fly next. And otherwise, until next time, thank you for watching, and bye bye.